Hello, hello. Happy Mobility Day. We are going to work on shoulder overhead reach. You're going to need a foam roller and a set of, hold up, dumbbells. I'm going to use my eights. You can definitely go higher, but your range will be smaller. If you have lighter, like 5 pounds, that'll be totally fine too. It's not about, doesn't have to be perfect. So you'll see. Kettlebell's fine. Anything with weight is fine, to be honest. All right, we're going to start with some foam rolling to settle down our nervous system and get our muscles nice and relaxed. So lift your hips up, hands behind your head, and just start rolling up and down through the middle of your back. With your hands behind your head, separate your shoulders a bit so that you can get the muscles between your shoulder blades. Get those a nice massage. Whew. Notice if there's any particularly stiff spots in your back. And I'll say try to go extra slow, almost like you're trying to push the muscle down with the foam roll versus just mashing it against your ribs. So I'm thinking of kind of like going slow as my body goes um, upwards against the foam roll, and then kind of resetting on as I um, bend my knees more. So just pushing myself nice and slow up. I'm also imagining I'm rolling my skin off of my ribs. Ooh, and then reset. Let's do that one more time. And then coming back, starting over, rotate your body about maybe 20, 30 degrees off center. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, a slow roll up along your rib cage where the muscles are really meaty on each side of your back. So slow up, almost like it's a shearing movement on the way up, shearing your muscles downwards off the ribs and then resetting. Ooh, see two more passes. Keep on breathing. Keep those shoulders wide so you can get the meat between the shoulder blades. Okay, side two. Rotate. Shoulders heavy, ribs heavy, and then slowly make your way up and then reset down. About 3 or 4 more passes. Getting a few good pops on the side. This is always my tight side. Ooh. Last one. All right. We didn't do a little pre-test, so let's pause and do that. Reach your arms up and overhead. How do they feel? Hopefully when we're done today, it'll feel even easier. Maybe you'll go farther, maybe it'll just be easier. Notice if you're feeling a lot of tension or lift in your traps when you lift your arms overhead. Does it take a lot of effort to relax those traps? Can you relax your traps? And maybe later it'll be much more calm up here. Okay, now we're gonna do the side of your rib cage on the roll. So here we go. I'm gonna start like, I guess I'm saying mid to lower ribs, and then we're gonna get up into the armpit in a moment. So just focus on the bottom 2/3 of the rib cage. I'm using my feet to help propel myself up and down so that my torso can really relax over the roll. And once you've explored just that midline, pure up and down, try adding a little bit of backward or forward rotation so that you're more on the corners of the ribs. Ooh, the backside is really tight. Let's test out the front. Okay, that's pretty tight too. Ooh, okay. Just explore back and forth, either directly in the midline, a little bit forward, or a little bit back. You find a really good spot, like one rib that feels like extra yummy, You can also rock forward and back along that rib, which I really enjoy. And always be nice to your body. Think of melting and relaxing versus pounding and poking and prodding. Muscles just want to go on vacation. All right, let's head on up to the armpit. So move the roller all the way up to the pit. And you're definitely going to find the best meat if you roll backwards, getting into your lats, even a little bit into that back of your shoulder, that rotator cuff. Ooh. You can do the same things here, roll up and down. You could do a little rocking forward and back. And a couple other things I like is once I find a good spot that feels like a hurts so good kind of sensation, relax into that spot so that you're really heavy and pinning it down. And then with your arm, you can try one of two things. Maybe some rotation so that my arm is still heavy and relaxed on the floor, or more of an active reach and lift. It could be reach as far as you can with your fingertips on the floor and then maybe lift off, see if that feels productive. I'm gonna do 3 more of these and then we'll get to the other side. All right, side 2. So here we go. I'm going to massage up and down, starting on the midline of the bottom 2/3 or 3/4 of the rib cage. You can also rock back a smidge, see how that feels. Ooh. And you can also rock forward a smidge, see how that feels. And then just like the other side, if you find a good sticky rib, feel free to rock forward and back along that rib. Ooh, I definitely found one today. You want to avoid pain that makes you like recoil back. So only put as much pressure as you can truly feel a sense of relaxation and melting and ease. So trying to calm down the muscles so that they stretch versus wake them up so that they're like ready to do a crazy workout. We're on the calm end of the spectrum with this activity. All right, let's bring that foam roll all the way up into your armpit and just check that out. And I guarantee that you're going to find much more meat on the back end of that armpit. Give it a little up and down massage. You can rock even farther back and then forward off of the sticky spots. Of course, you can always just find a good spot that feels good and just chill, relax, and breathe. With your arm, you can do the easy rotation back and forth, or the reach and maybe lift off. Think of like an airplane going down the runway and just stretching to lift off. I'm going to do 3 more of these and then we'll move along to one last foam rolling technique before we get moving a bit more uh, in a big way. Whew. All righty. Okay, foam roll under the base of your head. So if you put the hairline sort of on the top of the roll so that it kind of catches that little shelf there, and then let your body sink down and maybe do a little tiny butt walk away to create a bit of a sense of tractioning at the back of your neck. You want to feel a nice, gentle lengthening stretch at the base of the neck, those suboccipital muscles. And hopefully you feel good contact at the sort of the back bottom edge of your skull. And that's sort of where your traps, your upper traps, are going to attach to your head. So we're going to give that little area a massage by just keeping the head heavy and rocking back and forth, side to side, to massage the base of your skull where all those muscles attach to your head. And as we're doing this, we're thinking of getting some circulation, some blood flow to that area, because when your tissues are hydrated, they are happy and healthy. If you've been at a computer all week, well, they're probably not hydrated, happy, and healthy. They're probably stiff and a little bit crunchy. All right, rock to one side, maybe 30 degrees or so. See how that feels. And let's kind of try to find a good spot here in these muscles. So to do that, try rocking your head up and down like you're nodding in agreement, like yep, 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 yep. Or maybe a little no. See if that feels better. Or possibly even a little circle. Imagine I have a pencil on my nose. I'm drawing a tiny little circle on the wall across the room. And I like the circling concept because it allows me to kind of sink into the roll in a spirally kind of way that gets my tissues to relax, and I can gradually get deeper and deeper against the foam roll. Then once you find a sense of like deeper relaxation, pause, take a nice breath. Maybe try to rock your hips farther out to get more of a sense of traction and pull on that base of your neck. Maybe even a little rock. So I'm using my pelvis to rock. Ooh, bodies like to rock, just like babies like to rock. Adults like to rock too. It's very calming. All right, let's head over to side two. Keep your head super heavy. Roll on over. Hello again. So that the base of your skull is on the foam roll, but you're on those meaty muscles side number two. Relax. Let your head feel heavy and your body tractioning it away. So you feel that nice length in the back of your neck. We can try going up and down, then nodding yes or no. And maybe some circles. Every circle you're trying to relax deeper and deeper against the foam roll. And once you feel like you've gotten fairly relaxed, maybe you could try a little rocking with your pelvis or re-exploring one of those other movements that we previously explored. Whatever feels good to you. This is playtime. Alrighty, come back to the middle and give yourself one last stretch and try to walk your butt farther out. Okay. Whew. How are your shoulders feeling now? Any better? I'm definitely going a little farther. I actually feel a stretch into my ribs now, right in there. We're gonna get to some pec stretching later. Okay, let's start with a little more shoulder warm up. So you can sit however you want. If you want to sit on something that elevates you, that's fine. Shoulder blades go back and then shoulder blades go forward. I'm letting my arms go for a ride, but they're not leading the show. It's not an arm movement, it's a shoulder blade movement. I just want you to notice and be aware of how much your shoulders can move each direction. All right, I'm just going to put that into action in a sort of a crabby type position. So open your chest, shoulders, blades back. Place your hands on the floor. And then I'm going to walk my butt a little farther out. That feels like a better stretch for me. Keep opening your chest, gliding the shoulder blades backwards, and open your chest up to the ceiling. You're trying to really show off your sternum. If your chin is jutting forward, pull it back in so that you feel a gentle engagement in the deep neck flexors at the front of the neck. And then exhale, hollow and sink. This is more of a relaxed hammock type feeling, sitting, I call it like the teenager watching TV position. So almost letting your ribs sink down away from your shoulder blades. Whew. All right, shoulders back, shoulders down, chest up, the long back of your neck. Whew. Now my hands on the floor are actively working, so I want to keep my elbows a little soft versus locking the elbows. Press the hands into the floor, and just like you might do in a squat with your feet, spiral the hands outwards to create more external rotation in the shoulders. Lift your chest a little bit more if possible. Whew. And then you can reverse, maybe even spiral the arms inwards to sink back down. Let your ribs be heavy, just hang from the shoulder blades. All right, do a couple more. We'll go a little bit faster. So inhale, lift, chest opens. Exhale, hollow and sink. Inhale, lift, chest up, 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 up. Exhale, hollow and sink. We have our Superman chest lift, and then a hollow body tuck and curl. One more time, up, and down. All right, let's do some big shoulder rolls. Take your shoulders up, back, and down, forward and up, back, and down. One more time, up, back, and down. All right, test out your shoulders. So that help. I feel maybe my flexibility is not actually as good, but I feel more strong and supported. So I'll call that a good thing. They're definitely warmed up. So now we're going to grab our dumbbells. Got my 8-pounders here. I'm going to start with just one. And I'll give you two versions. The easier version is going to be feet on the floor. The harder version is feet up and tabletop. I like to keep my feet flexed because it reminds me to keep energy in my legs. And you're going to squeeze your inner thighs so that your whole midline core pelvic floor is engaged. Now, keep the legs active here or pushed against the floor there the entire time. Also, keep your ribs, the back of the ribs heavy, and your shoulder blades on the floor. You're going to want to like arch your back. Don't let that happen. You'll be not getting the full benefit. So grab your dumbbell, just hold it. Definitely use a kettlebell, anything that feels reasonable. And feel the back of your ribs, your shoulder blades grounded and heavy against the floor. From there, do lengthen, reach your arms so that you feel a little bit of a counter reach from the shoulders pulling down and the arms reaching up. Then very slowly, meticulously with control, lower your dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever, over your head until you feel a gentle sense of stretch in your shoulders, lats, arms. Might be different, might even be different from day to day. And or you might feel like your ribs want to arch off the floor. Stop there. In this position, breathe and try to ground your ribs a little bit heavier into the ground. Check your shoulder blades. Are they down away from the ears? On the floor as much as possible. On your next exhale, bring the arms back up. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhale slowly over. Exhale, pause, engage your core, heavy ribs. Hold for another inhale. And exhale back up. We'll do that 2 breath cycle movement. Inhale overhead. Pause, exhale, tighten up your core. Inhale, still holding. And then exhale, use your core to help you lift the arms. So it's all coordinated. I think we have 2 more. Inhale overhead. Exhale, deepen your core engagement, deepen that groundedness of the ribs. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale over. Should be feeling some abs here for sure. Exhale, hold. Long arms so your elbows straight. And on the next exhale, bring it right back up. Great. So if that felt really easy, you probably need to up the weights. Um, but you can also, if it's a lightweight, you can probably go a little farther. If it's a heavy weight, you're not going to go as far. So pros and cons to different weights. All right, now use two weights and reset. Only going to move one arm at a time. And to be honest, this 8 is on the upper limit of what I can do with really good quality. So as you are here, you want to keep your core really tight. Focus on keeping your arm perfectly still on one side while the other arm floats back behind you. What's gonna want to happen is your arm that's still, you're gonna think it's not moving, but it's gonna shift towards your legs to counterbalance. Don't let that happen. And then bring that weight back up. Let's do an inhale overhead, switching sides each time. Exhale up. Inhale slowly overhead. Exhale up. Because this is harder, I'm not adding that extra breath hold time. But if you'd like to try that, feel free. Inhale overhead. Exhale up. Only go as low as you can go with good control. Your body's not rotating or shifting. So it depends on your weight. It depends on your flexibility of how far you can go without cheating. Ah, so much fun, right? Let's do one more time each side. Last one. Ah, great. Lats warmed up. Success. All right, how's your shoulder flexibility coming? Oh, that feels fantastic. Love it. So a couple shoulder rolls. Up, back, and down. Forward and up, back, and down. One more time. Ah, fantastic. Let's try a couple other easy things, and then we'll hit up maybe in one more foam roll concept. You can do this sitting, standing, kneeling, whatever's comfortable. Let's take one ear to your shoulder and then keep going a little bit farther. So I'm thinking of bending through my neck and a little bit through my upper back and ribs. Allow your head just to be heavy and hang. Now with your shoulder, just go up, back, and down. Forward and up, back, and down. Forward and up, back, and down. I'm really emphasizing the down, which will hopefully feel a nice stretch through maybe that sternocleidomastoid muscle, upper trap possibly, maybe some pecs even. And then pull yourself back up. Let's actually just test that out. How does that feel? Outside, that side for me definitely goes farther now. Okay, here we go, side two. Tall body, chin tuck, side bend. Oh, it feels so good. My head and my upper chest are all bending. Head is like a million pounds. I don't want to pick it up. Shoulder blade up, back, and down. So up, you should feel a reduction of tension. And as you roll back and down, a nice stretch develops. On this side, I feel it all the way into my ear. Ooh, 3 more. And 2. And 1. Ooh, pull yourself back up. All right, hopefully you feel a little bit more even. Okay, let's test out, we talked about the shoulder blades going back and forth. So let's give this a try. Just how does it feel to go back and forward? And do this on the foam roll next to create like a very active pec stretch. Okay, so grab your foam roll. If you sit on the very edge here, you're going to be able to fit your entire body, assuming you have a 3-foot foam roll. If you don't have a 3-foot foam roll, take a beach towel and roll it up so that it fits underneath your body. A pool noodle would be an acceptable alternative. You're just going to find the floor with your arms much faster, which means you just have to work harder to push against the ground. No big deal. Okay, so feel your whole body resting on the roll. Rock back and forth a little bit so you feel like you can settle. Again, rocking is relaxing. It makes your brain happy. Okay, so let's bring the arms up to a goalpost-like position. Glide your shoulder blades down away from your ears. And for the most part, attempt to keep your shoulder blades away from your ears with a comfortable amount of effort. Don't force anything too hard, but don't let them choke your neck either. So let's start with the arms together in the front. Bring your elbows, forearms, hands together as close as possible, or maybe even you can get them all the way together. I have short T-Rex arms, so this is actually kind of challenging for me. But regardless, once they touch, press them together at all contact points as hard as possible. You know, it's possible, pretty darn hard, to create lots of tension and effort in your chest, the front of your shoulders, the arms. Maybe you feel a little bit of stretch between the shoulder blades even. Then think about the muscles between your shoulder blades, pulling your shoulder blades back towards the roll, and then open your arms towards the floor. Now, as you open to the floor, try to move the whole back of your forearm, wrist, and hand together versus just elbows or just fingertips. Make it all work together. If this feels really uncomfortable, I want you to do the same concept of what we're doing, but just bring your arms lower. Actually, that feels lovely. I might do this too. And then let's restart over. Bring the arms up. Squeeze and press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open to a big goalpost. Press the back of your elbow, forearm, wrist equally towards, or maybe literally onto the ground. Whew. All right, see that one more time. Super simple. Press in. My arms are getting tired, man. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open. Elbow, forearm, wrist pulls down to the ground. Ooh. All right. Relax for a moment. Okay, arms by your side. We're going to try to find the spot where you need the most work. So let's start with your arms on the kind of like low by your hips, palms up, and just float your arms up towards the T, overhead towards the Y, and just feel how that feels. No judgment, just kind of notice how that feels. With your arms relaxed, where do you feel your tight spots are? It's definitely up here in the Y, but also a little bit just below the T feels kind of tight, especially on my right side. I feel a little bit of bicep stretch in the middle right here in the T. All right, so find a spot that feels challenging for you. I'm gonna start I would say start with your lower spots first. And then let's take the arms off the floor, glide your shoulder blades back and try to, from the proximal portion, your shoulders, upper arm, elbow, try to push that part towards the floor as much as you can. And then if you can make contact with the ground with any part of the rest of your arm, press that actively against the floor without letting your body pop off the foam roll. I'm talking about the lower back, the lower ribs especially. And as you're pushing against the floor, we started with the shoulder blades pushing down, avoid letting them roll up and forwards. You might gonna wanna do this. So everything pushed down, open that chest. Like you're at the front of the Titanic, everything open. Right, so an easy relaxation. Just give yourself a floppy hug. Take 2 good breaths. Okay, we're gonna go to your next spot. So maybe a couple inches higher than you were. You can just find some place that feels somewhat challenging. I'm gonna go a little bit above my T for this next one. Shoulder blades down, upper arm down, elbow down. Now I have contact with my forearms with my short little T-Rex arms. Press whatever you can touch against the floor. If you can't get to the floor, just push against the air as best you can. Push as hard as you can without letting your spine pop off the roll, without letting the shoulder blades roll forward, so that you're really opening the entire front of your body and creating a lot of active flexibility here. Whew. Keep on breathing, of course, too. And just be also a little cautious of tension in your neck. We spend all that time relaxing your neck, not just to tense it right back up. All right, give yourself an easy hug, flop those arms over, 2 breaths. All right, this is their last one. Open back up. Now, especially as we get higher, avoid pinching in the back of your shoulders. There should be nothing uncomfortable at kind of where your t-shirt seam is back there. If that's the case, you're compensating for some other tightness. And I would say find a position where you can avoid that completely. Not productive in any way. Okay, strong ribs, especially as your arms go overhead, your ribs are gonna wanna flare up. Use your core. Shoulder blades push down, upper arm pushes down, elbow, forearm, wrist, fingers, push as hard as you can against the floor without unnecessary shoulder pinching or neck tension. You should be able to breathe and push. Imagine you want to imprint your hands against the floor so it's there for all time. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then give yourself a little hug. Walk your feet in and rock back and forth. All right. That was a lot. Roll on off of your foam roll. Come on back up and test out those shoulders. Hopefully your upper back feels much more warmed up. I almost feel like I could crack my back with how hard I was pulling my shoulder blades back. So let's work on opening that up with one last exercise. So maybe, might be 2 more. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn my foam roll 90 degrees. You can also do this with like a towel on the floor, and in some ways I almost prefer that. They're just different, to be honest. How wide your arms are is totally up to you and where your shoulders are tight. You might find that narrow is not always tighter. Sometimes there's a spot in the middle, kind of where your, depends on where your pecs are tight, and maybe lats where it's actually the tightest. So play around with different arm widths. Okay, so in this position, lengthen your lower back, ground your pubic bone against the floor. Push the roll away as far as you can to start, and then pull the shoulder blades back, glide the shoulder blades down away from your ears, and peel one bone at a time off the floor, going only as high as you can go with good quality lift. Whew. Now, I started with my thumbs up and I shifted to palms down so I could push a little bit harder against the roll. And if you need to, just kind of walk your hands in. As you're doing this, press your shoulder blades down, press into the foam roll. And again, try to imagine, I sort of think I'm trying to crack my back here as well. And then lower one bone at a time back to the ground. Push away, long lower back, ground through your pubic bone into the floor. And repeat, shoulders down, away from the ears. Press your arms into the roll so you get those lats nice and activated. And then try to peel your rib cage, your sternum up off the floor without any lower back tension. My lower back, it may have curved a little bit, but I'm trying to keep it long. So this is not a lower back movement. Ooh, and then come on down. If you haven't already, maybe try a different width, more narrow or even wider. See how that feels on your body. Do this one more time. Shoulders back, press down, lift. And as you're lifting, imagine there's a magnet on your chest pulling across the room to the far wall. And hopefully you get that sensation of trying to like crack your upper back. and then glide back down. All right, you can certainly keep doing that if you'd like. Let's just finish up with a little relaxation type neck stretch. You can sit, stand, however you like, hands behind your head. Put the pointer fingers at the hairline and give yourself a little bit of upward tractioning, a slight chin tuck down. Okay, so with your eyes, you're going to scan the horizon to the right. Look as far as you can. And the elbow that's coming forward, you can use that hand to help to pull forward with the base of your skull to help you get a very gentle stretch as your eyes continue to look back and rotate your head. Pause and breathe. Close your eyes, return to center. Whew. Open back up. Scan to the other side. Look along the horizon. See every bit of the horizon with your eyes. And the arm that's coming forward, you can use that one to help you pull into a little more rotation stretch towards the end range of your neck rotation. Keep looking with your eyeballs, a gentle pull with that hand if it feels okay. And just make sure the back of your neck stays long as you do this. Close your eyes, come back to the center. 2 more times. Eyes are the boss. Eyes lead the way. So notice how far you can see with your eyes each time. And then that front arm, that front hand can give you a little gentle extra overstretch. With that shoulder blade of that front hand, can you drop that shoulder blade down and tell it to relax? Imagine the muscles attaching your neck and shoulder blade don't even exist. You can just kind of like take a vacation. Close your eyes, come back to the center. All right, scan your eyes to the other side. See every inch of the room along that horizon level. Allow the front arm to give you a gentle extra stretch, keeping the back of the neck long, and drop that shoulder blade down as if the muscles did not even exist. Whew. All right, close your eyes, come back to the center. Last one. Eyes are the boss. Eyes lead the way. Rotate. I'm definitely going farther now than I did the first time. Hopefully you are too. Use that front arm if you'd like to give it a little extra gentle overstretch. Drop your shoulder blade if possible. Whew, just tell your body it's safe and this is a good place for it to be. And close your eyes, come on back. For that last one, eyes open, scan the horizon. That front arm can do a little extra gentle pull. Shoulder blade drops as the back of your neck remains long. Breathe, tell your body that this is a good place to be, that your body feels safe. Close your eyes, come on back. All right. How do you feel? Warmed up, ready to go? All right. Have a great day.